Good morning, everyone. Well, it's morning for me. I don't know what you guys are. Anyway, what I want to do in this video is talk about a war cry, okay, that was apparently used by the late Roman army called the Barritus. And this video is going to be on the shorter side because so far as I'm aware, and I might have overlooked something, but so far as I'm aware, we really don't know too much about this. So this whole thing starts with a Roman historian, Tacitus, in his book, Germania, which is one of several books he wrote. And it was written around the year 98, okay? And this was supposed to be an ethnography of the peoples of Central Europe, even though he never actually lived among them like you're supposed to, and he's using the barbarians to contrast what he sees as, decadence in Rome with this pure, noble, savage motif. So Tacitus tells us, okay, that the Germans, the barbarians, had this war cry that he calls the Barritus. Now, what is this thing? Well, again, according to Tacitus, this was supposed to be a yell or maybe some sort of a shout or a song that the German tribes would, shout as they marched into battle, and the sound of that noise was amplified by their shields, it bounced off their helmets, etc. But as far as the late Roman army is concerned here, we really learn about this thing, okay, from another Roman historian, Ammianus Marcellinus, who was a Roman soldier and historian working in late antiquity in the 300s. Now, he tells us, okay, that the Romans adopted this Germanic war-cry, the Barritus. And this is where we get into issues with etymology and words. So Tacitus spells it B-A-R-D-I-T-U-S. Barritus. Ammianus spells it B-A-R-R-I-T-U-S. Barritus. So it's somewhat similar. Now, why does he say this? And why does he spell it like that? Well, Ammianus had a specific goal in mind. He aimed to be as great a historian as Tacitus was. So, much like Roman historians during the medieval or Byzantine era, if we want to use that term, tried to emulate Thucydides and wrote in that style of Greek, Ammianus Marcellinus tries to imitate Tacitus. So there's that connection, there's that relation between these things, but there's also another idea here. Okay, so what actually is the Barritus? Well, like I said, it's a war cry that apparently starts off fairly low and builds up to a crescendo, and it's amplified by the sounds of the troops, marching. It's bouncing off their shields, off their armor, off their helmets. Well, it just so happens that the Roman word for elephant, barus, sounds a lot like Barritus. And when an elephant makes noise, it starts off low and it rises in volume. So there's another answer to what the Barritus was. It was a war cry that mirrored the trumpeting of an elephant in its sound, in its nature. So if that's the case, maybe there's really no ethnic connection to Germanic warriors serving in the Roman army at all. But in the end, I suppose in a way it really doesn't matter all that much, does it? Because the Roman writers thought that's what barbarians did, so they gave it that connotation, and that's how it's come down to us. Now, that being said, there is a Roman war cry that we do know they used, okay? In the late Roman Empire, most of the soldiers were Christian, and after the religious edicts and the reforms of Constantine and Theodosius I, especially after Theodosius I, it was clear that the Christian Roman Empire existed as part of God's divine plan. So, what that means then, okay, is that many Roman soldiers had, Christian imagery on their shields. Jesus, maybe an angel, maybe the Chi-Rho, maybe just a cross, and when entering the battle, we have evidence telling us that those soldiers would sometimes cry, Deus nobiscum, God is with us, or Adiuta Deus, God help us. That was also used. So that gets worked into propaganda because, where the soldiers go, so too does God. And where God goes, so too do the soldiers. So yeah, that's kind of it for this short impromptu video. Like I said, it was going to be short. There's really not that much we know about this thing. So there you have it, the Barritus. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Take care, and I will see you all next time.